Hey, what's up guys? It's Foster, and I'm really excited about this video. As you can see, I've got some SubiSpeed JDM style bezels I'm gonna be installing, as well as these Diode Dynamics Elite Series fog lights. But I'm also really excited just because these bezels look great on the facelift bumper, and I think the car is gonna be looking awesome. You might have seen some other Diode Dynamics products on our website before and in some other videos, but these Elite Series fog lamps are actually new to our website. And the set I've got here is a 6000K set, so that means they're gonna have a bright white light output, but you can also get them in 3000K, which is yellow light output. So depending on whichever look you're going for, there's a couple different options. They come with a plug and play harness, and they have the brackets ready to go to mount up to your bumper, so it should be a pretty easy installation. And then these SubiSpeed JDM style bezels are gonna be significantly cheaper than the OEM JDM bezels, so that's why it's a good choice. And they've also got the DRL strip on top, which is LED, and then obviously the cutout for the fog lamp. So we should have plenty of light output by the time I'm done with this install. At the moment, we've got some OLM fog light covers installed on our facelift bumper, and they look pretty good, honestly, in the gloss black. If it were my car, I think I might go for more of a paint match look, but that's just me being picky. But the first step of this install is to remove the bumper, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started with that. With the bumper off the car, it's a lot easier to see what we're doing. There's these little tabs that I'm gonna press in to release these fog light covers. They can be a little bit fragile, so I'd recommend being careful when you do this step so that you don't break anything. To install your new SubiSpeed bezels, start with this upper point, which is the most sharp edge of the bezel. Get the tab aligned there, and then work your way down and click all the tabs into place. Just like that, it should all snap into place. To install your new Elite Series fog lamps, there's no left and right side, but you do want to make sure that the writing on the lens is facing upwards. Once you've got that figured out, secure it to these clip nuts using your hardware. So we've got our new Elite Series fog lamps installed on our facelift bumper. Now it's time to hook up all the wiring and the electrical bits. I know it's not everyone's favorite part of a project to do electrical, but it's really not so bad with these Diode Dynamic fog lights, so I'll show you exactly what's needed and what you need to plug into. Step one is to locate your fog light harness. Since this is a 2015 WRX, it actually has fog lights from the factory, so it's got all the connection points that we're gonna need. But if your car didn't come with fog lights, you might have to first get a fog light harness for this installation. Step two is to use your Diode Dynamics fog light harnesses that come with your Elite Series fog lamps. And see this orange and gray connector that goes into the back of the fog lamp itself. And then there's a black connection, and this goes into your OEM fog light harness. I'll show you what it looks like once it's installed on the car. You might be wondering what this connection is on your OEM fog light harness, and this is for the OEM turn signals, so that's the reason why we're not going to be using it for this installation since we don't have the OEM turn signals installed anymore. There's also this red plug on the Diode Dynamics fog light harness, and this is for what they call the backlight feature. So I'm gonna tap into our DRL harness for our SubiSpeed headlights, and that's gonna give us the power, the 12-volt power for this backlight feature on these new Diode Dynamics fog lights. I'm sure a lot of you guys are wondering, well, what if I don't have SubiSpeed headlights on my car? And we do actually sell a product called an add-a-fuse harness, and that taps into your fuse box, giving you a 12-volt power source, and you can use this to run your backlight feature on your Diode Dynamics fog lights. So if you don't have that DRL harness like we do, you can use an add-a-fuse harness for this part of the installation. Of course, you don't have to install the backlight feature on these new Diode Dynamics fog lamps. And so if you're not comfortable using a T-tap, or you don't want to have to buy the add-a-fuse harness for this feature, you can skip this step entirely. So now I'm gonna install the T-tap. Just get your wire where you want it, and you clamp down on this T-tap, and that's gonna make your connection. Our T-tap is installed. Now you can simply plug in the harness from the Diode Dynamics fog light kit, and you're gonna have that backlight feature that I talked about. I spent a couple of minutes getting all the wires cleaned up and zip tied out of the way. So pretty much the only connections we need to worry about are this orange and gray connection. That is the Diode Dynamics fog lights. And then this connection here is the SubiSpeed JDM style bezels. Then the wiring runs along this tray. And then on the other side, same thing. Those two connections are laid out, ready to go. And then I did put the fuse box cover back on, and I routed the wiring in a nice clean way here. So I'm pretty happy with how everything turned out. We're pretty much ready to test out the lights, make sure everything works, and then reinstall the bumper. All right, the moment of truth, we've got everything all wired up. So before I reinstall the bumper, I'm gonna switch on the lights and test everything, make sure it works so that we don't have to redo all that work just in case there's an issue. Check that out, that looks awesome. A nice crisp white light, and it matches the SubiSpeed headlights perfectly. So I'm really happy to see that all the lighting mods that we did work. Now I'm gonna turn the car off and get everything put back together. Well, let me know what you guys think of all the different lighting modifications I installed in this video. Personally, I'm a huge fan of the SubiSpeed JDM style bezels. I think they look great in the facelift bumper, and I'm not really sure why Subaru didn't bring them to the US in the first place, but at least we have the aftermarket to make those parts available for us. Of course, I love the Diode Dynamic fog light upgrade too. It's gonna give us so much more functional light output and make driving a lot easier in those dark winter months. Plus, I think they're just a cool aesthetic upgrade with that amber function, and then they've got the white too, so that's kind of a cool touch as well. If you guys want to pick up any of these parts, I will put links in the description down below where you can find them on the SubiSpeed website. With that said, I'll see you guys next time.